Hello and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea, and today I would like to share with you more of the information I received from the 25th dimension during my last QHHT Hypnosis session. I'll be reading from a transcript of the session. And when I refer to Lorrayne, I'm speaking of my practitioner who's asking me questions I prepared in advance of the session. And when I refer to me, I'm speaking of myself under hypnosis, which means the answers are coming from the 25th. I want to premise the first question. Basically, Lorrayne is asking a question that I had prepared and that the 25th has already talked about in the previous part of the session. So in the previous videos prior to this one, but Lorrayne has this great habit of just reading a question if it is written as it is, even though she might reference the fact that the 25th has already answered it. So the 25th has a chance not to say anything if they don't want to, but generally speaking, they add nuances to their previous answer. So I find this habit that Lorrayne has of just reading through no matter what to be great, and it's been very helpful. All right, so here is the question. This is Lorrayne asking. You've actually already answered this, but I want to read through just in case there's something that triggers something more. Are we waiting on people who are putting up resistance? And why is there a need to do so? No judgment here, meant that we all have to continue suffering. Because this was my perspective, is that we're all suffering, and it's because there are people that are not ready to go. And so this is very much, obviously, from a 3D perspective, it's very separation thinking at its best, really. Me. Yeah, so we have answered this, but we'll just say it again. It's not just for them. Because again, Clea feels like she's a martyr and she's sacrificing for these people, waiting for these people. No, because we also have a benefit, and we're talking in individual terms. We know there is no individuality, but we also, from an individual perspective, from a personal perspective, have a benefit in all going together. So yeah, does it suck? I'm ready to go now. I'm already packed and here I am. You're taking forever to pack your bag. You don't need to grab that. You won't need that. Forget it. Let it go. This is how I might feel as the person who's already packed and ready to go to the airport, but you're being so slow. You're still in the bathroom. You could think of it in those terms, just like in the 3D experience. Somebody's always going to be a little bit slower or behind the other person. Now, when we say behind, we don't actually mean at a higher self level, like somebody's behind, okay? What we mean is we're giving you an analogy from 3D. Say you're ready to leave. We're going to an appointment and I'm still waiting for you, or you're still waiting for somebody that's still using the bathroom or whatever it is. This is what we mean. There's no judgment. Everybody's doing different things that they need to get done so they can leave the house and get to the appointment. But there is no timeline for the appointment. So we are not going to be late. Everything is just fine. But not only, why is the person waiting by the door? Because we do want to go together. And why do we want to go together? Because I also have a benefit from going with you. So I don't want to leave you behind and say, fine, you're still using the bathroom. I'm leaving without you. Forget it. I'm changing the plan. So we understand that it looks like we're martyring ourselves by saying, oh my God, get it done already. But no, that's not quite the same. We do have a benefit, or we would have not chosen to do it this way if we thought we could have done it in a different way, that in Clea's words could be fairer to everybody. So we don't have to wait for each other. We do want to wait for each other. It doesn't matter to us how long this takes. We said this before. We said the only reason we are, quote unquote, in a hurry is because since we care less and less about this 3D reality, it's more and more obvious that it's breaking down and that what we have been telling you is very real. When we talk about NPCs, etc., which is really the biggest issue here, that we don't want to know there are loved ones. We don't actually want to see at 3D level that our loved ones are gone. Not just know, we already know, but we don't want to see it, that there's no one out there when we leave the house. That is the problem. So in that sense, we are in a hurry. We're running against time. We already used this analogy. But other than that, we don't have a problem. As long as we can keep these NPCs going, we do not have a problem with being here, as unpleasant as it might be, because it is totally worth it for us to wait for our friends, because that's going to benefit all of us when we are on New Earth, the fact that we are together. And I don't know if you heard my cats in the background, they're going nuts. This happens every time I connect to the 25th consciously, or I am doing a video. They just, they help with the energy. Lorrayne, thank you. Okay, this is an interesting question. Not that the other ones weren't interesting and the 25th was laughing. Has Mother Earth also acted low vibe here? We always assume that Mother Earth is perfect. She is just like we are. And then when there is a tornado or volcano explosion that kills many, it's us making it happen. This is even from a 3D perspective when we say that we have done so much evil to the earth that we reap the result. However, the vibe has been very low here, and we have all contributed to it because we thought we needed to do this to sustain this reality. Has Mother Earth also had the same misunderstanding as we have? Me. So we always like to believe that Mother Earth is better than us because we do like to believe that there are a lot of things and people and entities that are better than us. We know the game of separation we play here. We played here. So we've always liked to believe Mother Earth is different from us because that's all it means when you say somebody's better, somebody's worse. You're trying to say it's separate from us. We wanted to believe that Mother Earth is separate from us, different from us, and better than us. But she is us. We are one. Mother Earth is an essence like we are, and we are one. Mother Earth does not have a separate higher self from ours. And they were laughing. There is only one. And therefore, Mother Earth has played the same exact game we have played. Mother Earth has played along the rules we set for ourselves for this game in 3D reality. And therefore, when there was a lot of low vibration, Mother Earth is just like any other essence. When we have spoken about falling in love with somebody, thinking that we are in love with somebody, and all we're doing is setting up a low vibe experience of some kind, we have said we use each other, quote unquote, use. We use each other, we leverage each other to achieve our own goals of having a certain experience. So let's say that I'm in love with this person, but really all I'm waiting for is through this person to have the experience I wanted to have. It's the same thing with Mother Earth. Mother Earth has played the same game with all of us. Is this the experience you want? You want to pretend that you're passing away because you died in a tornado? There you go. Let's have a tornado, and everybody who wants to use this as an experience, as an excuse to move on, can use a tornado. Mother Earth is just like us. She's one of us. She is us. And therefore, if you want to look at it in terms of the low vibration, she's also done things that are low vibrational. Again, because we wanted to keep this 3D reality looking a certain way. And that was a major way for us to say, this is how it works. You could be gone. You could be somewhere hiking in the forest, and all of a sudden there's an earthquake and you fall through the cracks into the center of the earth, whatever, right? It's whatever you set up for yourself. Mother Earth has simply played the game with us. Yes, absolutely. And there's absolutely no judgment. Mother Earth is also tired. She has also felt the weight of all these limitations. And of course, she's had very high vibrational experiences as well. We're all aware of this. We have a gorgeous, gorgeous planet in so many ways. But you know what? Mother Earth, just like the rest of us, cannot wait to go to New Earth because she's going to be our new planet, as we said. And she cannot wait to do whatever the hell she wants to do. And they were laughing. Not impose on ourselves all the limitations we have wanted to abide by here, just like the rest of us. The people that are going to New Earth are the people that want to experience freedom. And this is what is going to happen. We're already sad. Mother Earth is going to have multicolored trees. And maybe one day she decides that she wants trees that fly. And that's okay. She can have whatever she wants because just like us, we're going to do whatever we want to do on New Earth. So we hope that answers your question. Lorrayne, thank you. That was very enlightening. I like it. Okay, next question. Is it a coincidence that virtually all of the 12,000 have aligned with New Earth? Or is this because of our jobs, quote unquote, and our personalities, which allow us to carry out our duties, also quote unquote? You guys know by now there are no duties, no jobs, no missions, nothing that we have to do because the essence is free. Or maybe we really just need a vacation after all we have done. Me, chuckling. Yeah. So both things are true. One, we need a vacation. And we already said, well, you might just go to a planet that has higher vibration and have a very leisurely life. Truly, the only real vacation we've ever gotten, we would ever get in the multiverse is on New Earth. For the simple reason that it is almost like you're calling yourself out of the board game. You're still in the board game, but you're saying, I'm not going to abide by any of the rules anywhere, okay? So in that sense, it's almost like I'm sitting on the bench, sitting on the sidelines. So in that sense, it is a true vacation. You can manifest anything you want instantaneously. Be aware of the fact that you're doing it. Change your mind, do something else. It's just going to be a blast, okay? So yes, there is that, absolutely. After this huge project, most of the 12,000, especially because we said there's really nothing else going on in the multiverse that's even close to being this dire, where the full attention of the 12,000 we need to go to immediately. So because of that, we are taking a vacation. At the same time, we've also said that situations will continue arising, normal situations or routine situations, things we've seen before on other planets. There will be some recalibration needed, but the 12,000 are able to do that at a distance as well. So we don't need to incarnate on a different planet at this time. We have the choice. We have the option to go to New Earth. And most of us, almost down to the last one, have chosen that. But it also is personality because, of course, we're interested in things that are new and different, which is the reason we were so interested in this particular takedown, in doing it in a new way, so that we get something new out of it. We will learn new things. And by learning, we mean like testing new things. Because, of course, again, the higher self is not learning anything, just experiencing new things. The whole point of the matrix is to have experiences, which obviously we don't have experiences at the level of the 25th. We're just hanging out all the time, outside of time. They were laughing. So yeah, in that sense, yes, it's also personality. And you know, kind of the two things coming together. At the same time, we know there is a handful of light workers who decided that no, they're not interested in going to New Earth. They're done. And once they're done with the takedown, they're actually just going to go be in the game again and forget about all of this, which is perfectly fine and acceptable. And just go and live maybe, you know, a life on a different planet, obviously higher vibration, because they also need a break, but they want to forget about all of this. And, you know, Claire has thought about it before and says, you know, at some point, I do want to forget about all of this. I mean, this is a lot of knowledge. This is a lot of information we have right now, and it does affect us. In fact, there is a question coming up about the fact that, and you guys were just discussing this, about the fact that it takes away some of our purpose. And how do we like to live in the matrix? We like to believe that our lives have meaning. So that stimulates us to do things and maybe to improve ourselves, because we love this idea that we have to improve ourselves, don't we? And all of that. So of course, the moment you have all this knowledge, you realize you cannot be doing anything wrong. And you don't have to do anything to be any different from how you are. That takes away a lot of the activity that you would be otherwise interested in doing. And therefore, at some point, all of us will be like, okay, you know what? I want to get back into the game where I don't know anything. Clay is even looking forward to being an atheist again, somewhere else where she doesn't have to worry about anything. She's just like, oh, look, this is how life works. You push this button and this happens. Very mechanical. And that's okay. That's the whole point. We said this many times. Some of the people who have had the best time on this planet have been atheists, because talk about the ultimate in separation from source. That would be a lot of fun for you as well, Lorrayne. And maybe you will decide to do something like this, because imagine, especially after a lifetime like you've had now, and of course you've aligned with this for a long time, and the extreme degree of knowing that you're going to have a new Earth. Maybe you do want to jump into a reality where all you think about is very 3D, and we mean 3D as in concrete. You could be on a different planet that's higher dimension. That's totally fine. And all you see is something, you know, black and white. That's how life works. And that's okay, because that's the fun of it. We do want to have different experiences. So yes, that's why a lot of the 12,000 have chosen to go to New Earth. But again, there will come a time, and we've already spoken about this many times, where everyone will be tired of this and will want to jump back into the game. Lorrayne, thank you. Okay. What is the point of being in the matrix? Is it really that fun for us to take on all these disguises, lives, when we end up leaving our mates hanging mid-game? Why wouldn't we all want to go into a game at the same time and leave at the same time, so there is no loss felt? Well, we know that there is no real loss. We also do miss the physical experience we have with our loved ones. Are we really this desperate to distract ourselves from eternity that we would create such a lame reality? This reality does not seem like the ultimate. It seems more like a mildly better option than boredom, and not just on this planet, but in general. We know, for example, that Luna is happy doing her next thing, but it does create a void for the rest of us, the fact that she's gone. And here in my question, I was referring to the passing of my mother's dog, my family dog, and she passed earlier this summer, or last summer, I should say at this point, since we are in November. Me. Yes, so we already answered this question, but we will answer it again just briefly because obviously it came from a place of distress for Clea. And we know that if Clea is feeling this way, many are feeling this way. We know, one, we don't have to do anything. So at the level of the 25th, as energy, as source, source doesn't have to do anything. The only reason we came up with this idea is because we can do it. We are all powerful. We can do anything. We created entire worlds out of our own imagination. So it's not that we are desperate. We are not desperate for the simple reason that we have no need to do anything at all. But we know where this question comes from. First of all, Clea's parents' dog died 2 weeks ago, which brought back to her attention the fact that we do experience loss here. And this session was done on August 10th. That's why they're saying 2 weeks ago, just for clarification. Her father was crying. Her mother was sad. Clea was sad too. This dog has been around for almost 2 decades, and she was a lovely dog. She is lovely. A lovely essence, a lovely individual. And Clea is aware that nothing's happened to the dog. And in fact, she's in a way envious about the dog. The dog has moved on. Now, in reality, the dog moved on a while ago. The dog's essence moved on many months ago. And so now she's thinking, yeah, okay, it's the NPC that passed away. What's the big deal? So there's a part of her, because she knows this, there's a part of her that's saying this. But really, at a 3D level, she's saying, no matter what the truth of the matter is, good for you for leaving this crappy place. They were laughing because this is also going through Clea's mind, or good for that person for passing away. Now they don't have to deal with this anymore, whereas we're still here. There's also the part about where that leaves a void behind, because we do very much want to believe in loss here. And it does interrupt your relationship, your interaction with this essence. It absolutely does. Now, while we are all one, and we're always connected for that reason, because we are one, the truth is we do keep our focus on certain essences if we want to think of it in individual terms at certain times. And therefore, we've already spoken about the fact, for example, that we do play in teams. We come back to our friends because we want to be with our friends again and again. We do have kinship with certain essences. So we hate it here when our interaction is being interrupted, which is the same reason why we have put up so much resistance to this takedown and to this information. All of us have done this. When we were mourning, when we realized we weren't going to be able to see a lot of our friends, if not most of our friends, we've gone to 3D chambers because we don't want to interrupt their experience. We keep talking, we keep going back to this. The crux of the problem here, that we don't want our experiences interrupted with the people that we love because we're having fun together. Right now, for example, one reason Clea has put up a lot of resistance is because she's realized, well, because of this takedown, I wish we hadn't done this takedown. I wish we had rebalanced the polarity and we wouldn't have had to interrupt this game. Because now, because of this takedown, our experience with our loved one has been interrupted. And my parents are gone. And my friends are gone. Whether I want to see it at 3D level or not, they're still gone. And I know it and I can't deny it. I cannot lie to myself about it anymore. Clea is past this. Really, all of us are past this. Even the ones that are resisting are past this. And so there is a point. We see the point. We don't like our games to be interrupted. Not just from a game perspective. We don't like the experience. Now, we're going to have multiple lifetimes with these people that we are close to. We already said, the vast majority of experiences we have in the multiverse are with essences we already know. We rarely run into essences we've not had shared experiences with. So in that sense, it doesn't matter. We're not losing anybody. We know this. There is no loss, right? This is just a body. This is just a form that the essence takes. But at the same time, we do hate that. So in this sense, no, we don't do this because we are desperate. And it is not pathetic. As we said, the word that Clea likes to use is, it is pathetic how we need to do this. I wish we weren't even doing it. We weren't even having a matrix, so we wouldn't have to suffer. That's what she's saying. So we wouldn't have to suffer from this loss. There is no loss. And again, Claire's still mourning. And this is why we keep telling you, no matter how much you know, you're aware of right now, and how unemotional you think you are because you've gone through a lot of the resistance and you've done so much work. All of us, we already said this even earlier today in the session, all of us will have a very, very hard time with this. One, because it's more and more obvious here. And also when we get to New Earth, which is another reason why we do want to be there together, because it will make us less emotional, the fact that we are there together and we still have each other. Because the fact is, when we are in the matrix, we do believe in loss. It's the whole point. We believe in separation, and therefore we do believe in loss. Even on higher dimensional planets, even when they are more conscious around the idea of somebody departing, it is still a loss to them. And so because of that, it's something we'll always have to deal with, because this is the point of being in the matrix. It's to believe that this is real. And then when somebody leaves, they have left. We don't see them anymore. So we're not going to continue having the pleasant experience we were having with them. As if a parent passed away, you know they're fine. You know, even at a religious level, we like to think, oh, they went to a better place. But it's still very hard for us, isn't it? Because we're still not able to physically interact with them. And in this case, for the people going to 3D chambers, we're not going to be able to interact with them at all. So it is a big deal. We don't want to, it would be easy to just say, well, loss is not real, deal with it. But we do have a very, very hard time with this. I mean, imagine the entire reason we're keeping up the shell here is because we don't want to deal with the loss. That's how huge a deal it is for us. So certainly not something that we take lightly. So we completely understand where this question comes from. But yes, it's not that we have to do these things or that we are pathetic because we're so desperate to keep these things in place. It truly is something that we do because in the great scheme of things, it is fun for us. It's just that we are suffering so much right now because of everything that is going on that we understand. This is very hard and very much top of mind for all of us right now, this concept of loss. And it is tough. It is tough. We don't want to gloss over it because especially at 3D level, but not just at 3D level, for the entire multiverse, for the entire matrix, this is a very, very tough concept. The idea that somebody would pass away. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a tough concept to talk about today, but it's what we are dealing with. So this is real. And so I wanted to ask this question of the 25th, because of course it's been on my mind, obviously throughout this entire process, but also because, again, it was triggered by the loss of my family dog. So I hope this helps if you're going through anything like this.